McGinley starting to fire the way he can.
Paul McGinley will have putt to win the cup.
Coming from a sporting background in Ireland, you know, team events, playing at a high level, Gaelic football, hurling. I came from that background of camaraderie, and obviously the Ryder Cup was something I would have loved to play in.
It's hold it. Europe have won back the Ryder Cup.
I was lucky to be part of great teams and great captains, and I played under Torrance, Langer, Woozy.
And that's a good shot from McGinley.
You just love to see somebody enjoy an occasion as much as Paul McGinley.
I was captained by all of those greats, and I'd learned a lot. I was prepared, I was ready. I know what this job is about.
It's my honour to present the Ryder Cup captain for 2014, Mr. Paul McGinley.
I became captain in 2013. I was incredibly excited. I was the first Irish captain. I knew I was ready. In the eras before, you either had to be a stalwart of the European Tour in terms of winning, 10, 20, 30 events, or major champions. That's who the captains were. And I wasn't either of those. And I remember playing over in the Royal Trophy. Sevi Ballesteros was captain, and we were in the locker room before the singles, and he said, one day, Paul, you will make a great captain. And this is probably 10 years before I became captain. The Sevi Trophy then became a part of maybe an induction to try to identify captains and give a bit of experience. And luckily for me, Monty was the captain in 2010, and his job was to oversee the Sevi Trophy. And he put me and Thomas Bjorn as the two captains, me of Britain and Ireland and Thomas of Continental Europe, with a view to trialling us. We didn't have a very good team compared to what the Continental Europe was. They were littered with current Ryder Cup players. Anyway, off we went, and not long did we won by a huge margin. And the players all said very nice things about my captaincy afterwards, and all of a sudden I started having a bit of belief in myself too. Got a little bit cocky that, maybe I'm good at this, maybe I got something about me.
It's truly an honour for me to stand here in front of these 12 wonderful players as captain of the European Ryder Cup team.
I was prepared, I was ready for whatever eventuality came. And as I came into that Ryder Cup, the words that Tom Watson had said to me maybe a year or so before, casually over dinner, I asked him about dealing with pressure. How do you deal with pressure in the heat of the moment? His answer was, Paul, the best way of dealing with pressure is to not let it build in the first place. I took a lot out of that. I never forgot it. And a lot of my captaincy was based around not having to make big decisions during the Ryder Cup. I had a plan in place. I had loads of contingencies based on that plan. I got this. I know what this job is about, and I'll put a bit of order on us, and I'll get us all fired up, and we'll give this a good go.
Good morning to you. Welcome to the Gleneagles Hotel in Perthshire in Scotland for the opening day of the Ryder Cup.
I knew I was going to lead out with Stenson and Rose. I wanted a strong pairing going out at the top. Two powerhouses in terms of personality, golfing personality and games. I felt they would blend well together. I was going to play everybody the first day. I was going to show confidence in all 12 players, and I had a plan. But we didn't get off to an amazing start, and I didn't panic. It was like, this is tough. This is the top level of professional golf right here. People are going to lose. People are going to play great and lose. That's what happens. This is going to be a battle.
This is to stay in the match, stay alive.
The plan was not based on running out to the front, getting a lead and holding on to it. The chances of doing that were slim in this Ryder Cup because America was so strong.
Mickelson and Bradley do it again, and that's a great win for Tom Watson's team.
So I call this plan wave after wave, and that's how we're going to win this Ryder Cup. We're going to wear them down. wave after wave of attack. You don't hit him with the first punch, you hit him with the second. You don't hit him with the second, you hit him with the third. Wave after wave after wave after wave. Keep doing what I think are going to put odds slightly in our favour, matches and pairings that are slightly going to give us in our favour. And, you know, over time we just wear them down. And fortunately, that's exactly how it played out.
And it's Justin Rose who takes it, and Europe go 1-up.
I needed to blood a few rookies in the afternoon, and Jamie Donaldson came out in the afternoon, and Victor Dubuisson came out in the afternoon. I put both of them with two of my most experienced players in Westwood and McDowell, and they were great. You know, the two stalwarts did exactly what I asked them to do.
Can he make it? Yes, he can!
I always remember a line as well too from Corey Pavin when he was captain, and always remember to make the big thing the big thing. Marginal gains are important, but the big things are more important. So I try to get the big things right, and one of the big things is taking a rookie and putting him with a really strong partner.
Wow. No better man to bowl a putt to win an match and seal it than Graham McDowell.
The following morning, it was more of the same. Things were going well. The energy level was up. I was big on energy level. I was big on that. Our top players were performing. You win Ryder Cups with your top players.
Oh, he hasn't done it again, he has! And there it is for the first time in this Ryder Cup. We get the top eight celebrating Ian Poulter.
Those big players with a big, huge haul of points. That's what breaks the back of winning Ryder Cups. So I was really focused on those top players in particular.
Well, it's a good try.
That's it.
That's another point for Europe. 9.5, 5.5 now.
And obviously the score was going well, so there was no reason to change anything. These guys are brilliant players. They got caddies. I'm not involved in that. I'm only getting involved if it's an absolute crisis. My job is to step back, and they're on the arena. They're the gladiators in the arena. Let them get on with it. They don't need to have the captain in the air. Stand back. Let them go.
And it's another wonderful afternoon of foursomes for Europe. Would you believe it? Look at the scoreboard. 10-6. What was the score in Medina 2 years ago, going into the singles? It was the other way around then. And they're now big favourites to retain the Ryder Cup.
Saturday evening was interesting. You got a split head going on. You've got one side brilliant, everything's going great, guys are great, the energy level's great, everybody's buzzing, it's brilliant. And then the other side of me is going, I was in Medina, and we're just coming off the miracle of Medina in the previous Ryder Cup. And the Americans were in the same situation. They got giddy, they took their eye off the ball, they were a little bit complacent, and we took advantage. And this giddiness and this excitement that was natural from all the players, I had to temper that. And I came in with a strong message. Guys down the order, expect to see the Americans kick tomorrow. This is a very strong American team. They are not beaten by any means yet. They want to get their own back and do what we did to them in Medina. And you know, when you see red on the board, don't overreact, because that's what's going to happen. I did stack the top of our team. Rory, I think, was number 3, who was our best player. He was absolutely razor focused, absolutely came out of the blocks like a racehorse, just like a greyhound, just went at him.
Is it 5 up? It is. Oh my goodness me, what a start from Rory McIlroy.
Established a big lead and went on to win 5 and 4.
Rory McIlroy delivers the first point of the day for Europe.
To see the players having so much fun doing what they're doing. And one of the points that I made to them as well, because we're playing at home, was interaction with the crowd. When you do something special, you know, give it to the crowd. If you give it back to the crowd, they'll come back you again 2 or 3 times more.
Oh, it's a beauty. It is just glorious.
We stemmed the opportunity for America to get momentum. We won those first few matches, and then things kind of settled down. As the matches were coming to conclusion and it's looking like JD could be the winning point, I'm thinking of, if JD loses this hole and loses the next and he gets in trouble, what's after that? What's our safety net? What's our safety net after that? I'm thinking of the worst case scenarios, to be honest. JD was lining up his second shot. Pin was cut right over the bunker. And I'm standing well away from him and Mick. They're discussing the club. And it's between an iron and a wedge. And Mick, in his nonchalant manner, just took out the wedge and gave it to me. He says, hit that hard, it'll be fine. JD didn't really have an option. That's the kind of way that Mick caddies. You hit that hard, it'll be fine. He hits the shot anyway, and it's up in the air. Because the pitching wedge is high and it's hovering for a long time, but the pin is just over the bunker, and I'm worried it's going to come down short. So I remember saying, get up, like that. Not too loud, but just get up. And Mick just so nonchalantly, don't worry, it's up. A second later, this ball, and the crowd goes crazy. The cork came off, the bubbles came up in the champagne, and the euphoria wanted to explode out. And I ran over and I was going to jump on JD, and as I was kind of mid-air, I saw Tom Watson in the corner of my eye, about 2 or 3 yards away. And I didn't want to, be all over JD with him there. I want to be respectful and be humble. So I slowly backed down and put my hand on his shoulders rather than around his neck, and then backed off and went over and shook Tom's hand. And then the chaos began, the excitement began. Champagne came out, the crowd were singing, everybody was excited, and it was just great.
Europe have won the Ryder Cup for the 8th time in the last 10 tournaments.
I loved every element of the Ryder Cup captaincy. I loved it, absolutely loved it. And it was just great to be part of that and to see everybody get so much joy. Things spiraled for me in my life from there.
Thank you all so much for your unbelievable, noisy support this week.
When you do a captaincy and it goes so well and you really feel you're good at the role, you don't get another chance. But that's okay, I can live with that. A lot of other good things have spiraled out of it.